Hello. So we're gonna get started here. I'm outside Bridgeton, New Jersey, Rutgers FIC campus, where they do a lot of manufacturing, testing, and food, basically overall food safety on organic, farm grown fruits and vegetables, ingredients and sauces, juices, whatever you see in the market. They make sure that it's FDA approved, that it's safe for you and your family, that it's organic, and they keep a well sanitized and clean facility. The reason why I chose to come here all the way down in Bridgeton, about 150 miles from Newark, was because I could have just done a random project on going to the best burger spot in New Jersey, going to the best Chinese food in New York, downtown Manhattan. But I decided, what's more important? Going out to eat every once in a while, or the food that's in your cupboard, in your refrigerator, in your house, that your friends and family eat every day. So that's what really brought me here. I feel as though during this semester, this course, HSS Food Seminar, we focused a lot on outside food, the beauties of the culinary arts, and eating out with friends, the experience. Hello, HSS404. This is Cordell, and I'm with Melanie and Alex here at Bridgeton, New Jersey, in Rutgers Food Innovation Center. And they're going to be giving me a tour of their center and showing me what they do in terms of food manufacturing, processing, and all the cool things they do here. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yep. I'm Melanie O'Neill. I'm the Associate Director of QA Compliance and Training. Been here 9 years. I keep us in compliance for the back of the house, and I teach industry professionals basically all the food safety regulations between FDA, USDA, and all the local authorities.
My name is Alexandra Cuevas. I'm the new plant manager, and I'm training brand new.
This is our second week, right?
Yes, this is my second week, and I'm responsible for scheduling, making sure that everything is in place, staffing, equipment, sanitation, and all that cool stuff prior the production day for every client.
Awesome. So let's get started on the tour.
This is where everyone gathers in. We do teachings. We have a conference room that can hold 25 to 30 people. The further we go back is the back of the house. Hallway. We have an R&D kitchen where the client would start with their production. So they have to scale up in this room. They do the nutritionals, they do labeling, they perfect their formulas. So they scale up from 1 to 5 gallons in this room. This is considered our R&D kitchen, research and development. We do basics of food safety testing. We do pH. We do calibrations of our thermometers. We do moisture testing, water activity, and it's very small scale for this room. Okay.
Cool.
Now we're going into Alex's world.
Thank you.
So anything past this point would be for food production. If you notice, you can smell the garlic.
Yeah.
Can you smell garlic? Yeah. We have 4 production rooms. We have a bakery, hot process, cold packing, cold processing. This is the room we're gonna have to put GMPs on from this point forward. So hairnet, you're gonna need a beard net because you have facial hair.
Yes.
So if you want to stop here, get down.
So
now we're going to start our tour. We're going to start in the bakery. So that might be maybe most applicable for your dry processing. That would be granolas, that would be spices, that would be, so these rooms are basically, and you might have spotty Wi-Fi, just to let you know. So this is our bakery per se. We have proofers, we have a rack oven. So this client is storing things in here right now. So it's basically a shell of a room with some equipment. So we don't really do dry processing per se, because it depends on the ingredient, depends on the product, on what we can help with. So we supply the labor, we make sure the room's clean, we make sure it's maintained, peeling paint, rust, that kind of thing. So if a client has a specialty product, like we do some things with clients that have packets, and that's a dry product per se. So we provide them with a clean environment, they bring their own equipment in, we make sure it's clean, we supply them. And then we are a USDA and FDA registered facility. So we are audited by a third-party audit for GMPs. So we could rent, our center does a little bit of consulting. We also help with the staffing, the process, the formulas, process authority letters, those kind of things. So this room per se is just basically a bakery. So they can rent the equipment in the room, or you can, if you have specialty equipment, we can house it in here, okay? Every room comes with a 3-part sink, a hand washing sink, post stations, okay? So we have 2 different kind of models. We have an apartment model, which is basically a 1-year lease or so, and the person would give it their own equipment, keep it clean like an apartment. This room here is like a hotel model. This is our high acid hot filled bottling line. So if you come in here, I'm gonna show you the process flow.
So high acid.
High acid meaning low pH. So anything below 4.6 pH, because that's where spores start to grow. So we have a bottling line, so they have to have a process authority letter, which gives us the temperature and the pH parameters for us to run the products. So after it does a scale up in the R&D kitchen, we have 2 100-gallon kettles, we have a 200-gallon kettle. What they would do is they would get heated, processed, and come up through the lines. And then the bottles themselves, this is now set up for our client for tomorrow. This is a bottle line, this is an air rinser. So basically these bottles will be lined up with each of these. It rinses, blows the air out. It comes down the line, then we have sensors on the line, gets filled into here, so product gets pumped from that pipe up there over to the hopper, into these. It comes down the line. This is a cap hopper, so it holds the caps. And it goes down the line down here. It gets capped here, so the bottle, it gets screwed onto the cap here. It goes down the line, it gets a label on it, and it gets printed and then palletized from that back table.
Do you know what will be put into these bottles?
That's the high acid hot filled bottling. So it would be any teas, jams, jellies, hot sauces, marinara sauces. Right now we're doing a popular client is Korean barbecue sauce.
Ooh.
So yeah, anything that gets controlled by pH or refrigeration, we can do here. It's considered shelf stable or refrigerated.
And what's the cleaning process after a company has used this facility, this hotel room?
I will let Alex describe the cleaning process.
So after each sanitation, our daily production crew will rinse out everything, any residues left over. They will leave the room set up, and then we have an outside cleaning company that comes in and will foam everything, scrub it, the tables, every utensil that was used, the line, everything that came in, everything that was used in the whole room, along with the floor as well, the drains. Then they rinse everything, and the next morning we have a quality person that will come in and do a pre-op inspection, like double check visual. They do also ATP swabs to make sure that everything was clean.
So what kind of chemicals don't you allow inside this area to be during sanitation?
They have to be made for food product contact surfaces and for the type of surface that we're using. We have some hard plastics, we have stainless steel. So it would have to be made per the manufacturer's directions on made for a food production environment. So it's based upon the manufacturer's label.
Okay.
Yeah, we couldn't just take some things like Fabuloso, Windex, Comet are not approved for food product contact surfaces. So it has to be made for what it's doing and the surfaces it's cleaning, and make sure that food can be on that surface after it's cleaned.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. So you're talking about refrigerated type of processing. We have a glass freezer. size. So glass meaning just air around it, so it's a refrigerated room. So that's the same exact size, but it's the freezer. And then this is a raw staging cooler that we can stage. We can look at it from the other side, stage from the warehouse. So whatever we use for the day, that's being refrigerated.
What are some of the biggest operation challenges when monitoring and maintaining these freezers and refrigerators?
Yeah, so then make sure that we don't overload them with hot product all at the same time. We want to make sure it's kept clean. It's not always easy to clean a freezer when it's frozen, right? Timing of different products in and out, make sure allergens are stored separately. And then make sure that we follow a master sanitation schedule and to make sure it's kept clean. And then of course, volume. So we do have bigger units on the warehouse side. We can go look at that. So we have a big storage freezer and a big cooler. They're both about 48 pallet positions. So this is what we're staging for tomorrow's production in glassware, ingredients. This is the room where Impossible Food started. So we helped them produce how to make the food commercially, as in bulk pack for food service. So they started their formula in California, came here to sell to a restaurant, and to get their packaging as they built their plant in California, and now they're back there again. So that was a plant-based meat you were asking about earlier. So they would be, they started here. So we would help with formulas, micro, production, that kind of stuff. Well, they kind of did everything in here, and that's why that hood's here, is they had a piece of equipment underneath it. So yeah, they would do everything kind of in one, and they had their formula came from California, and they produced it for sale here.
If you know, were there any scaling issues or challenges when they came here and started, wanting to mass produce package?
I'm not really sure because I wasn't here at that time. I came in when they were halfway through production. But I heard they helped with the workers being helped with the micro to help with preventing microbial growth in their packages.
Melanie O'Neill and Alexis, they're wonderful, wonderful people. They took the time out of their day to come and give me a tour of their facilities, and it was just an overall great time. They were nice, they were thoughtful, and I enjoyed their company and hope they enjoyed mine. I'm here at a key market, just a 17-minute walk from the facility I was just in. And I just want to put into perspective the value of my project. Look at all these bottles. Oil, hot sauce, ranch,